You might want to sit down for this because what just leaked about Rick Ross, Big Meech, and 50 Cent makes every past rap beef look like kindergarten drama. This isn't just a feud, this is a $120 million betrayal that could rewrite hip-hop history, apparently. The boss himself, Ricky Rozay, has been accused of running a secret money scheme tied to the legacy of Big Meech and BMF. And let's just say, 50 Cent ain't having it. The man didn't just clap back, he detonated. We're talking Instagram posts sharper than diss tracks, shade deadlier than tax evasion, and receipts thicker than Rosie's Wingstop menu. This makes the Kardashians look like Sunday school, according to insiders. 50 found out that Rozay was allegedly using the BMF brand name for business ventures Big Meech never approved, and when the news hit, bro, Curtis Jackson went nuclear. He's calling it the biggest hip-hop hustle since Diddy's contracts. And the internet? It's melting. This isn't beef, it's a digital civil war. Loyalty, money, and betrayal all on display. And if you thought 50 was petty before, you ain't seen revenge with receipts yet. It started the way every 21st century apocalypse begins, with a single leak and 1,000 screenshots. A late-night post from a verified insider hit X, claiming Rick Ross's company moved millions off the BMF name without clearance. 3 minutes later, the internet turned into a courtroom. At first, nobody believed it. Rick Ross had built his image on being the boss, the man of mansions and lemon pepper wings. But this? A $120 million hustle connected to Big Meech's empire? That was like accusing Santa Claus of tax fraud. Then came the receipts, leaked emails, brand contracts, even a shady licensing doc with BMF Productions LLC stamped across the top. The problem? That company wasn't owned by Meech. It was tied to someone on Ross's payroll. Within hours, hip-hop went into panic mode. TikTok detectives were drawing arrows on whiteboards, YouTubers were whisper narrating in dramatic fonts, and 50 Cent was watching. And when 50 watches quietly, that's not peace, that's pre-war reconnaissance. Remember, 50's been the unofficial keeper of the BMF legacy ever since his hit series put Meech's story on TV screens worldwide. To him, Big Meech wasn't just a legend, he was content, culture, and code. So when that rumor dropped that Rozay was using BMF for side hustles, 50 took it personally. The man didn't call a lawyer, he called Instagram. The first post went up at 2:43 a.m. A photo of Rick Ross with the caption, "You ever seen a boss with borrowed money? #ScamF. 10 words. One hashtag. A nuclear blast. Fans woke up to a digital war zone. 50 Trina and Rozay before breakfast. Somebody hide Wingstop's bank statements. Even Snoop Dogg commented. By sunrise. 50 had posted again a screenshot of a document allegedly showing a transfer for consulting rights worth millions. Caption, "Where Meech is cut at." Rozay tried to stay silent. His team issued a dry press release calling the story fabricated nonsense, but the internet wasn't buying it. People dug up old interviews where Ross called himself the real BMF ambassador. One tweet read, "He went from big boss to big borrower." By noon, #BMF scam was trending worldwide. Podcasters were yelling like sports commentators, "Ladies and gentlemen, we are watching 50 Cent in his final form, petty prime." But behind the memes was a real sting. Sources close to Meech's camp claimed his family was furious. Word on the street, Meech feels disrespected. One leak said he'd already called 50 personally and told him, "Handle that. And if you know 50, that's all he needs to hear." So the next day, he unloaded the full clip, a 3-minute video rant that felt like a press conference mixed with a stand-up special. He paced in front of a poster of the BMF series, saying, "Y'all see what I built for Meech, and then this dude out here selling dreams with his name on it. Nah, I'm the wrong one for that." Fans lost their minds. Clips hit every platform. People were quoting lines like scripture. "I ain't arguing with no fraud who rented his own nickname." Even celebrities jumped in. Meek Mill liked a tweet saying 50 ain't lying. DJ Academics posted, "Rozay better drop proof or drop out." For once, Rick Ross couldn't laugh it off with a meme or a barbecue joke. The numbers were too specific, the paperwork too convincing. And 50 was posting like he had receipts from heaven. Then it got ugly. Ross finally broke his silence with a video from his mansion surrounded by cars and chickens. Yes, actual chickens. "Y'all talking about my name, but I'm counting my paper," he said. "It's Wingstop money, not BMF money." The internet laughed for 5 minutes, then realized he never actually denied the deal. That was enough for 50 to reload. He posted a photo of Ross and captioned, "Bro out here building empires on other men's names. Fake boss behavior." Every post was another grenade. Reporters called it a digital drive-by. In 24 hours, Ross's brand value dropped online faster than his music streams. People boycotted Wingstop for a whole day just for the drama. And while Rozay scrambled to respin the story, 50 was already turning it into a content machine. He started teasing a new docuseries called Scam Season: The Untold Stories of Hip-Hop Greed. First episode? You guessed it. The title card alone made Twitter explode. 120 million and a broken bond, the BMF Betrayal. And this was only day 2. The world had no idea how much uglier this was about to get, because when 50 Cent smells blood, he doesn't just hunt. He documents the kill. By the third day, the internet had officially declared war. Every corner of social media was drowning in hashtags, leaked screenshots, fake insider posts, and fan theories so wild they made Area 51 sound believable. Everyone wanted to know one thing: did Rick Ross really pull off a $120 million hustle behind Big Meech's back? 50 Cent wasn't answering questions. He was narrating the destruction. He posted that you can fake jewelry, fake fame, fake followers, but you can't fake paperwork. He said he had time, and the man clearly did. What came next was digital annihilation. 50 started unloading receipts like artillery. Contracts, wire records, licensing documents, everything tied to Ross's name through mysterious shell companies. Every file looked legit enough to make accountants sweat. The captions were short and lethal. "Imagine calling yourself a boss while eating off another man's legacy." The internet combusted instantly. Memes portrayed Ross as a used car salesman shouting "certified pre-owned legacy." Another viral edit showed 50 Cent wearing a judge's robe stamping "Scam approved." Podcasters dropped emergency episodes. YouTubers filmed reaction marathons. And TikTok ran on nothing but 50's quotes and lemon pepper jokes for 24 hours straight. Charlemagne the God warned Ross to call his accountant. Joe Budden called it the fastest self-repo in rap history. Boozy Badaz screamed that nobody scams Big Meech and lives to brag. The culture smelled blood. Rick Ross tried to regain control. He went live from his marble palace, sunglasses on, chest bare, bottle of Belair sparkling like a prop. He laughed it off, claiming the stories were fairy tales from haters. He said his empire was built on lemon pepper, hard work, and loyalty. The comments shredded him alive. People typed that lemon pepper doesn't cost $100 million. They joked that loyalty expires once the receipts hit the internet. Even die-hard fans started backing away. Then came the deeper leak. Anonymous emails surfaced showing business proposals using the BMF name for live events and streaming deals. None signed by Meech or his family. The story exploded again. Twitter renamed it the BMF Ponzi scheme. Hashtags like #RickRobs and #BossFraud trended for days. Every entertainment outlet replayed the same question: how did Ross get access to those rights? And why now? 50 sensed weakness and pressed harder. He uploaded an old interview of Ross bragging about being the real BMF ambassador, adding the caption "the fake finally meeting the paperwork." Overnight, the quote turned into a meme. Fans captioned photos of anything counterfeit with "real ambassador energy." Ross's silence started looking like guilt. And silence on the internet is a death sentence. Inside sources whispered that Meech's team had reached out to lawyers. Rumors spread that they were exploring legal action to reclaim profits linked to BMF licensing. Whether true or not, it gave 50 Cent all the ammo he needed. He claimed he'd help fund any lawsuit for the culture. That sentence alone sent social media into a frenzy. The fallout kept snowballing. Wingstop stock got dragged in memes. People claimed they could taste betrayal in the fries. 50 mocked the brand publicly, tweeting that the new flavor should be called scam sauce. The joke became merch within hours: shirts, hoodies, mugs, all saying scam sauce approved by 50 Cent. Ross had built a lifestyle empire, and 50 was tearing it down tweet by tweet. When Ross finally responded again, it was late and defensive. He said he'd never stolen from anyone and that his success spoke louder than gossip. The internet didn't buy it. They started comparing him to every fallen mogul who talked too much before the receipts hit the courthouse. The general mood was ruthless. Once the people smell hypocrisy, they never log off. Then, out of nowhere, a new layer surfaced. A voice recording leaked, allegedly a phone call between a Ross associate and a producer negotiating BMF rights. The voice claimed, "Meech in prison. He ain't checking invoices." That line detonated the timeline. Bloggers posted it with captions like, "The scam heard round the world." People demanded statements from everyone connected to the BMF series. 50 posted a smirking emoji and nothing else. The silence said everything. By the next morning, hip-hop news outlets were calling it the biggest credibility crisis of Rick Ross's career. Sponsors quietly paused deals. Radio stations started replacing his songs in rotation, not because they were cancelled, but because controversy messes with ad dollars. Meanwhile, 50 Cent was basking in the chaos like a pyromaniac watching fireworks. He uploaded another message. "You see what happens when the image bigger than the ethics." Fans quoted it like scripture. Commentators called it the death of the boss era. One viral tweet read, "Rozay built a kingdom of lemon pepper lies." And 50 came through with receipts and ranch. Ross tried to pivot into positivity, talking about new music and future tours, but nobody cared. Every comment section mentioned Big Meech, scams, and 50. Interviews turned awkward. Journalists kept asking the forbidden question. The damage was irreversible. Behind the scenes, Meech's name was trending for the first time in months, not for the series, but for the scandal. Fans defended him, calling him a legend betrayed twice, once by the system and again by opportunists. The phrase "protect Meech's legacy" became a movement. Eventually, 50 Cent announced his next masterpiece, a docuseries titled Scam Season, Episode 1, The BMF Betrayal. The trailer broke the internet within hours. It showed flashes of documents, headlines, and ominous narration about greed, fame, and fake loyalty. Everyone knew exactly who it was about. The caption read, "When loyalty expires, history remembers the invoice." Ross's team called it defamation. 50 called it documentation. The internet called it entertainment. People were pre-ordering popcorn like it was a concert. As weeks passed, the scandal transformed from breaking news into urban legend. Commentators debated who really owned the rights, analysts dissected the financials, and fans turned it into folklore. The day the fake boss got audited by the petty king, eventually, the noise faded, but the scars stayed. Ross's reputation never fully recovered. Every new post about luxury or success attracted comments saying, "Whose money though?" 50's empire, on the other hand, expanded. The BM series gained record ratings, the new doc went viral, and Curtis Jackson cemented himself as the internet's undefeated petty prophet. In interviews, he played humble but smug. He said he never wanted beef, only truth. Fans laughed because everyone knew 50 thrives on beef like oxygen. He doesn't argue, he archives. Rick Ross retreated to music, hoping time would erase the stain, but hip-hop has a long memory and an even longer meme shelf life. Every scandal fades until 50 brings it back for a punchline. That's his legacy now, not just a rapper or a mogul, but a cultural historian of humiliation, and somewhere between the smoke and the screenshots. One thing became clear: loyalty in hip-hop isn't about who you party with, it's about who owns the receipts. Big Meech built an empire that still echoes through generations. 50 Cent turned that echo into a soundtrack. Rick Ross tried to franchise it and got publicly audited. When the dust finally settled, fans crowned 50 the last man standing in a decade-long war of words and wealth. He didn't need bullets or bars, he used screenshots and sarcasm. He once said, "Get rich or die trying," and somehow managed to do both, except now he gets rich by watching his enemies' reputations die instead. The final takeaway hit the internet like prophecy. In an industry where everyone plays boss, the real power belongs to the man who documents everyone else's downfall, because in hip-hop, revenge isn't a song anymore, it's a business plan. And that's how a single leak turned into $100 million explosion that shook hip-hop to its core. Rick Ross built an empire off the word boss and somehow ended up on trial in the court of public opinion, while 50 Cent proved that pettiness pays better than platinum. One man flexed mansions, the other flexed receipts, and in 2025, screenshots beat street cred every time. If you made it this far, you already know this saga isn't over. Another headline, another meltdown, another rapper trying to survive the internet's audit is only days away. So drop your take in the comments. Was this karma, business, or just another viral circus disguised as justice? Hit that like button like it owes you money, subscribe before the next scandal drops, and keep those notifications on because the minute the next secret leaks, you'll want to be here when it breaks. The truth hurts, the drama pays, and the internet never sleeps. Stay tuned, the next explosion is already loading.